going on, guys? Welcome back to an episode of Fishing with Flair. Today I have the Lucky Tackle Box unboxing. This one is for the month of April. And I've got some exciting news. Maybe disappointing to some of you guys, but for me personally, I'm very excited. There's a lot of big things, a lot of new things coming to my channel. And I decided to go with one monthly tackle box subscription, and that one is Lucky Tackle Box. So you're not going to see any more mystery tackle boxes, tackle grabs, or lunker boxes. Decided on this one. I've been getting the monthly boxes for probably close to 2 years now, and I get asked literally on a daily basis by people which one I think is the best, which one I think has the most product in there for the money, which one, if I could only pick one, which one would I choose? And so my decision is clear. I'm only going to be doing the Lucky Tackle Boxes from now on. And like I said, some of you guys might be disappointed that you're not going to be able to see those monthly unboxings, but I know those monthly unboxings do get kind of repetitive, and people get kind of bored of watching all of them, so there's only going to be one every month. And I'm starting to work with Lucky Tackle Box a little bit more, and they are generous enough to let me be a part of the lure selection, and so I'm going to have a say in what comes in these monthly boxes. So you guys know the types of lures that I like. When I get these boxes, I expect lures that I'm going to go throw. Whether it be the seasonal pattern or not, I don't want to get lures in here that are just going to go in a junk drawer and I'm never going to throw them. I want baits that I'm going to throw. And like I said, I'm fortunate enough to work with them, and they're gracious enough to let me be a part of the team and help decide what lures come in these boxes. So yeah, that's just some exciting news. Like I said, partnering with Lucky Tackle Box, going to have some say and get some really awesome products out to you guys, some firsts. There's some companies, I'm not going to say what they are, but there's some companies out there that no other monthly tackle box subscription sends out, and I'm working with Lucky Tackle Box to get that taken care of and get the best possible box built every single month for you guys. And you guys can use promo code FLAIR if you want to get your first box, if you want to try out the Lucky Tackle Box for $5. Normally it's only $15. You want to try it out for $5, you can use promo code FLAIR. There's a few other promo codes that'll get you that too, but that'd be awesome. If you can tell them I sent you, use promo code FLAIR, that'd be great. That's enough talking. I'll get into this month's box, but I decided I'd share some of that exciting news with you guys that hopefully it turns out well and get some awesome boxes built. I'm going to be picking out the lures for that season, so the July box is going to have certain lures that I think work best in July around the country. So like I said, very exciting news. Really pumped to work with them, and so yeah, so we'll get right into it. First bait is the Jig Antonic football jig, and I believe it's this. It comes in this little brown bag here. Interesting packaging. I don't think I've ever seen anyone do this. Alright. The Summer Shandy. That is the lure in there. It's a little, looks kind of like a football head jig. Yeah, it is a football head jig. It's a little more of a finesse style one, and the color is called Summer Shandy. I'm guessing it's got the kind of the chartreuse yellow green pumpkin mix. The crawfish do get a little bit lighter colored sometimes, or in the summer, or this imitates a bluegill or something on the bottom. Very nice small compact jig, just small finesse jig if you're looking just to catch some small fish, or I shouldn't say small fish, but a cold front rolls in and they're feeding on smaller crayfish, smaller bluegill. The forage in the lake is smaller, then you're going to want to go with something small like this. And that one goes for $5. Next, we have the Bagley Balsa B Series. This lure has not come in any other monthly tackle box subscription. Lucky Tackle Box is the first one to use the Bagley baits, and these guys have been around for longer than I've probably been alive. They are made out of balsa, You don't see a lot of companies on the market making balsa baits still. The Bagley or Bagley ones, they've been around for a very, very long time, and they're really good lures. I personally don't own a lot of them. I know a lot of guys that use them. And this one is their shallow diver. It goes 0 to 3 feet. It's just got a nice shad pattern on it. And maybe some of you guys have never seen a balsa bait or used one, and you're curious, when do you use it? What I've been told by a lot of pros and a lot of anglers that are better than I am is they throw wood around wood and they throw plastic around rock. That being said, this is balsa. It's a form of wood. If you're throwing around laydowns, you're throwing around sticks, you're trying to deflect off stumps, cover, stuff that's not rock, then that's when you use this over your traditional plastic crankbait. If you throw this around rocks, they're a lot more fragile. They're going to get beat up, they're going to get dented, they're going to chip, and they're not going to stay as in the good condition that they came in, or the condition that you want them in. I know a lot of guys that do use balsa crankbaits. It's one of those deals where I usually only throw them in tournaments when the bite gets tough, but they just have nice subtle action, not a whole lot of sound to them. They do catch a lot of fish, and that one goes for $8.99. Next, Skinny Bear Bass Jigs. This is their swim bait, the shad-eye swim bait. This is in rainbow trout colored. See there, it's a nice big swim bait. It looks like I haven't taken this out to the water obviously because I just got it, but just from the looks of it, it looks like it would be kind of a slow swimming, real subtle swim bait, something that would work really well off ledges. It's pretty heavy. I'm not sure what the weight on it is, but it's got to be pushing 3/4 ounce. Probably 3/4 ounce lead in it, but it looks like it'd just be a nice slow swimmer. Something you could throw around the spawn, up in the shallow waters. When the bass are making the beds, they don't like fish, especially trout, bluegill, brim. They don't like them swimming around their beds and stuff, and you get a lot of good reaction bites like that. Also, when the water gets colder, swim bait turns on the ledges and deeper water and stuff like that. It'd be a great bait. And that one goes for $5.99. Next is the Bass Munitions Beaver. This goes for $4.99. And the one, another thing that I like about the Lucky Tackle Box is they send the least amount of sample packs. Not 100% of the time do they not send a single sample pack. Sometimes they just can't get the manufacturer to give them enough product for the right price. But they send the least. That being said, everyone likes full packages. No one really likes the sample packs. Sometimes you might think if you get a sample pack, maybe you'll get 3 beavers and 3 worms. But that just has not been the case for these other monthly tackle boxes. They only send 4, maybe 5, maybe 6 baits. Versus here, you're getting 5 baits and a pack of bait mates sent, and they're not sample packs. And that being said, this is a good beaver bait, and this one's kind of unique because it's got the flat side, so it's almost like a beaver, your traditional sweet beaver cut in half. Very, very interesting action. Interested to take this out. I've never used a bait that has the flat side like that. My guess is it's gonna glide. You'd rig it Texas rigged and it's gonna glide down. So bed fishing, flipping and pitching. I just feel like with that flat side, that's gonna catch a lot of water, and so you're gonna be able to slide into the beds and slide in and around the cover a little bit better. You may be able to kind of do more of a swimming action. You pitch it in there on a belly-weighted swim bait hook like this guy, mustad hook that I'm about to get to. And it's going to glide down there. It's not going to just go straight down. It's going to glide. That'll be interesting. I'm kind of excited to try that out. Awesome color, green pumpkin. You can't beat that color. And that one goes for $4.99 if I didn't already mention that. And then I'll open up the mustad hooks. And this one, these are the Power Lock Plus worm hook, 1/8 of an ounce. They're kind of like, I think I just call them swim bait hooks. You can use them for swim baits, but they're made for worm hooks. They just have the power lock on them, which I've never used. I've seen them. And you can see there what it has. So that's the power lock on there, and it's just basically a belly-weighted. It looks like a swim bait hook, but you could use it for a lot of different things. Like I can rig it up on this beaver-style bait here. You just kind of thread it on there. Helps keep the bait in place. Look at that. Alright. And just rig it your traditional Texas rig. Just like that. You can see that's, you know, you just want to rig it perfectly straight, just like that, up and down, nice and weedless. You can throw this in and around trees, it's not going to get tangled up, but with the belly weighted hook like that and the flat side, I could see this thing really having some awesome gliding action, which in the spawn, in and around beds, like you can literally use this for bed fishing. You pitch it right next to the bed and it instead of just nosing down on it, which sometimes can trigger a bite, but a lot of times when it looks like it's kind of swimming by and going real subtle to it, and maybe you could twitch it back and it'll slide back down. Those are the best baits to throw during the spawn when you're catching bedding fish. And this year I'm going to hopefully find some bedding bass. The lakes around here are just never that great for bedding fish, but I'm going to try my best to get some footage of bedding bass, because that's always super exciting. But yeah, I think I said the mustard hooks were $4, comes in a pack of 3, 4-aught. Last but not least, we have the Bait Mate Attractant. You see there, this has come in tons and tons and tons of different ones. And, you know, basically it's just some fish attractant. You can put on your soft plastics, marinate them, and it says apply directly to any live bait or artificial bait. Best results, reapply frequently and maintain consistency. And it just basically helps, helps you catch fish. One thing I learned yesterday is I was bass fishing, throwing a chatterbait in and around shallow water where I thought the bass were bedding, and they do this thing called, I call it mouthing the bait. I don't know if that's the technical term, but I call it mouthing the bait. And what they do is they grab onto the bait, so if you're swimming this by and they're on a bed and they're guarding it, they'll grab it and they'll spit it. They mouth it. They don't eat it, they bite it with their mouth and let go of it. And something like the bass attractant, something that gives off the scent a little better, may make them hang on a little bit longer. I know power baits promoted that in the past, but scents help them just stay on longer. And that extra second that you're going to get from using it, you're going to hook that fish. So it's a pretty good deal. I don't use scents a whole lot, only in tournaments. Usually is about the only time I use scents, but that's when you could use it. And then this is the Big Bass little booklet that comes in all of them. And it's filled with awesome information. You can see there's stuff on spring bass fishing. Lots of awesome articles in here. You can see Ishman Rowe wrote one. This one is on... I'm not sure it's on the cover. No, it must be... It looks like he's talking about like maybe flipping and pitching or something like that. I can't quite tell. Yeah, oh, it's just about kind of how he says it. He was born to fish, the education, just stuff about being a professional bass fisherman. There's some more articles and stuff. It's a lot of good information in here. Here's the lunar periods in the spring, let's say spring fling. Some more spring fishing tips, as well as some stuff with the lunar and solar chart. Tying the Palomar knot, one of my all-time favorite knots right there. It teaches you how to tie it. This thing is just jam-packed with some awesome stuff. Food and drink, how to cook peach glazed ham, and they have a big rod blowout on it's probably Fish Hound, I'm guessing. Yep, Fish Hound. Got a rod sale going on if you need a rod. They got a whole bunch of deals going on there. They just got crazy amount of information in these. They're just jam-packed. I save all of them, and I read every single one when I have time. So that's it for today's episode. Here's the card if you need to read that, see any of the prices or anything like that. But just awesome company to work with. Super excited. Look forward to some awesome baits in the future boxes. Hopefully we'll get some sweet baits packed in there. But like I said, use promo code FLAIR if you want to sign up, and thanks for watching.